Hey there, everyone. Dan Dix here from Press for Truth. We are here with the one and only Walter Block. Sir, thank you very much for talking to us today.
My pleasure.
Now, we are in Vancouver, Washington right now at a Libertarian conference. Tell us a little bit about how do you think this event has been going so far?
Oh, magnificent. There must have been 15 speakers or so, and each one was precious. They were all wonderful, very enthusiastic. It's just wonderful. Some young people, some middle-aged people. No one old like me, but that's okay. But the enthusiasm was great and very inspirational, some of the people, and I'm just enjoying it.
Yeah, I've been loving the talks as well. You're going to be speaking soon. What do you have in store for your talk?
Well, originally I was going to speak just about Austrian economics, but I feel I have to criticize everyone. Because even though there's a lot of positivity, if I can coin a phrase, I'm sort of a negative person. And I have a lot of critical things to say about what the speeches were, even though they were inspirational and wonderful, but still I have some criticisms to offer against most of them. So I'll be doing a little bit of that, and maybe I'll be talking about how I came to be a libertarian and a little bit about myself.
Can you give us a hint of what in Austrian economics or in the economy in general might you be hinting towards?
You mean in my criticisms? Oh, nothing on Austrian economics. My main criticism is a lot of them were saying, here's how to promote liberty. Do it X, Y, Z or ABC. And a lot of them, you know, like the last one, be nice. Well, I don't know. I don't believe there's any one right way to promote liberty. I think, you know, we can promote liberty in many, many ways. There's no one right way to do it. For example, and this is a point I'll make later, who are the two people that promoted liberty better than anyone else? And I don't mean theoretically, like, say, I would say Murray Rothbard is Mr. Libertarian, and he got to the essence of what libertarianism is, and no one else did it quite the way he did. But who were the people that promoted liberty to the masses of people? And I would say two people, Ayn Rand and Ron Paul. And they were just about opposite. I mean, no one ever accused Ayn Rand of being nice. And the last guy said, be nice. Well, you know, what's with that? I mean, Ayn Rand was not nice. And yet, she promoted liberty magnificently. Whereas Ron Paul was more nice-ish, although he was very critical. I mean, he was Dr. No, and he was always voting against all the bad guys. So I'm an Austrian economist, and I believe in the subjectivism, and I apply it everywhere, even including how to promote liberty. And maybe 4 or 5 people gave their view of how to promote liberty, and I think they all worked for those guys. But the implication is that we should all adopt their view. Now, I'm sort of an Ayn Randian. I'm not nice.
You strike me as a very nice man.
No, I'm not nice. I'm very critical. When I was a college student, my roommates had these dolls that you touch, and the doll would go like this. And they bought me one that went like that. I'm sort of critical. As shown by the fact that I'm going to be criticizing everyone at this sort of love-in. Like one woman said, you know, libertarianism is love. Well, what about hate? I mean, you know, we're the hateful libertarians. Why can't we be hateful? I'm hateful. I hate certain things about people, and, you know, why shouldn't we do that too? So the idea is they're sort of trying to pigeonhole libertarians or push libertarians into this perspective. And I'm saying, you know, let 1,000 flowers bloom, like Uncle Mao said, although in a different context. So that would be a big part of my criticism.
But that's all part of your style of promotion, I suppose, right? Is to criticize and to give the constructive feedback, really. Right?
Well, I guess it's constructive. I'm not sure whether it's destructive or maybe a little of each. But like, take 2 of my books, Defending the Undefendable and Defending the Undefendable 2. It was just very critical. Critical of everything that I could shake a stick at. I was, you know, jumping out against. And a lot of my scholarly publications are attacking people. I don't know, like Milton Friedman or even Murray Rothbard. I just sort of like an attack dog. And yet, I'm most comfortable like that. Woof, woof, I'm an attack dog. Maybe I do it nicely, but I'm still hateful in some sense. And, you know, we have to have room for hate in libertarianism too.
Well, how do you, where do you see where we're at with the growth of the libertarian movement?
Oh, it's magnificent. I first became a libertarian in 1963. 63, maybe 64, I'm not sure. I'm no historian. And when I met Murray Rothbard in 66, I asked him how many libertarians were there in the world, and he said 25. 25 in the whole world? And Murray sort of knew everybody because he was Mr. Libertarian, or he knew anyone who was quasi-libertarian. 25? The whole world? And now look, I mean, you know, here at this conference we got, I don't know, 150 people or so, and it's just, you know, one state convention. And, you know, the gays used to say, we are everywhere. I think they still say it. Well, we libertarians are everywhere. It's magnificent. I mean, it's unbelievable how far we've come. So I'm just delighted, and I think the enthusiasm here is something that will just carry us forward.
I recently spoke with Jeff Berwick, and he mentioned that he was inspired by you in an interview that he had with you to actually put himself out there and to run for the party. And he said that was inspired by you, which is great. Do you ever have any kind of intentions for ever running?
Well, I once ran for New York State Assembly in 1969. This is before the LP started nationally in '72, and I didn't win. And I once ran for vice president of the Libertarian Party, maybe in the '70s, and I didn't win that either. And my contribution is not so much to run for office. It's more, I don't know, maybe giving speeches at Libertarian Party conventions like this one, or writing, or I'm a professor of economics at Loyola University, and I've got, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 of my students that are now either college professors and hopefully converting more people to the one true faith, or are in graduate school. So I make my contribution a little bit differently, although, you know, who knows, maybe one day I'll run. I have nothing against running. I favor running. I support people running for office on the LP or Republican or heck, even the Democratic Party. I mean, Ron Paul ran for president on the, the Libertarian Party in 1984, 88, I forget which year, and he didn't, 88 was it? He didn't do all that well. It got the usual 1%. And then he ran for president on the Republican, and magnificent. I mean, that's when Ron Paul became Ron Paul. So the way I look at the LP, I'm all in favor of it. But if, say, suppose Ron Paul got the nomination in 2012. He beat out, what's his name, Romney. Should the Libertarian Party have run at all? If I were Gary Johnson and I were running for president in 2012 and Ron Paul became the Republican nomination, what I would do is I'd call up Ron and I'd say, Ron, what do you want me to do? If you want me to quit, I'll quit. If you want me to stay in and support you and tell everyone to vote for you, I'll do that. Just tell me what you want to do, because I want to promote liberty the best way, and the best vehicle now is you as the Republican candidate. On the other hand, if it was Romney and versus Obama, then I'm a big Gary Johnson fan, or whoever wins this year for the Libertarians. So I'm not really a supporter of the Libertarian Party. It's just a vehicle, a very good vehicle, a magnificent vehicle. But if other vehicles come in, like Ron Paul running for the Republicans, or I don't know, you running for the Democrats, don't ask me how that would come about, but suppose it did, well, then I would support you as a fellow Libertarian, rather than the Libertarian Party candidate.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think any independent outside of the controlled state false left paradigm is a good way to go. For anybody who's watching this right now, they want to learn, get some of your books. Where can they go to learn more from you? Well,
walterblock.com, LouRockwell.com, or the Mises Institute, or Amazon. Yeah. I've written, I think, 23 books or so. The number keeps changing. Yeah. I support all of they're all my babies, my intellectual babies. I don't want to, distinguish one and the others will feel hurt or something. I don't want to be nice. Go buy my books, and I'm all over the web because I give a lot of interviews like this and a lot of debates and a lot of speeches. So if people are interested, just Google Walter Block and you'll find me all over the place.
Fantastic. Once again, thanks so much for talking to us today.
My pleasure.